This is M1 and this is another video. This is no doubt going to be the most boring video yet. If you can believe that after having seen the episode in which I kill Gaping Dragon. I'm going back to the sewer undead merchant so I can get some more arrows, since I have a lot of souls right now and nothing else to really spend them on. After this, I'll be going to place the Lord Vessel. There are a few things that won't happen until after you place the Lord Vessel, one of which will be happening in this part. Specifically, Dark Knight Kirk won't show up to invade you in the Demon Ruins, so I'll be fighting him this part. If I didn't say it before, I really suggest skipping this part. This part does not really have anything interesting at all. This part basically just includes a lot of stuff that I need to show because they're just a necessary part of the playthrough, but I wanted to just kind of isolate it all together because it's all very, very boring stuff. One time I fell down here and took fall damage and died. If anyone else has had that happen to them, or they can explain that, please let me know. Only once. Time for the Demon Ruins now. I couldn't warp to the Fair Lady's bonfire because I didn't rest at it before, so I had to walk all the way there. I think it saved time overall because the reason I didn't rest there to begin with is because I wanted to homeward bone back from Ceaseless Discharge. But still, it took a while. Since this video is pretty much filled with nothing and we're already on the subject of having to take a long time to do something, let me go ahead and voice my thoughts on a game design issue I have with Dark Souls. Just as something kind of different to fill the commentary time. Dark Souls is definitely one of my favorite games ever. It's definitely in my top 10, probably my top 5. But among my top 10 games, it's also definitely the most flawed in my opinion. The most major flaw I think it has is simply that it wastes too much of the player's time in a variety of ways. The most major way being that it just takes too much time to move from one place to another. I guess another way to put it would be to say there's just a lot of empty space that you have to traverse. Like, look at all of this space I've already, walked over without having to fight any enemies or do anything other than just run and kind of watch my stamina bar to keep my running optimized. I don't know if I have to kill these guys. I don't know if they count as mini-bosses. They don't respawn, but I killed them anyway. I know it's boring to watch, but I kind of enjoyed doing it, so I did it anyway. As I was saying though, in Dark Souls there's just a lot of empty space that I wish was filled with more enemies, more challenging enemies. Even the runs back to bosses after you die to them can be kind of boring. If you die to Gwyn, for example, I actually timed it out. It's 1.5 minutes to run back from the Lord Vessel through the kiln back to Gwyn. And there's nothing on the way there to, take up that time justifiably. There are Black Knights on the way there, but you don't have to fight any of them. It doesn't take any effort at all to dodge them and never get hit by them. It would be a lot better if maybe there were more Black Knights to fight there, or if there were just some reason where you had to fight them. Or alternatively, if you could just get back to the fight a lot faster. All this might not seem like that big of a deal to some players, but I think if you spend a lot of time playing the games you like, and you like to play the games you like over and over again, a game not wasting the player's time is very important. But at least its core gameplay mechanics are spot on. The way it handles skill in this game is perfect. If you die in this game, it's your fault. It's your fault for a lapse of skill. As you can see, my skill was lacking today. In all seriousness, though, I don't know what happened. It's a Capra demon with no dogs, so he stood no chance. By the way, I should point out, I'm using fire arrows, but I think all of the enemies in this area have pretty high fire resistance, for understandable reasons. But anyway, the point is, the fire arrows are a pretty not cost-effective way of dealing damage. They do more damage than other arrows, but just barely. Alright, now I'll be fighting Dark Knight Kirk. He's the reason I went to place the Lord Vessel. When I first lure Kirk into invading, I like to run back here where I am now, back towards the fog gate. You just have a lot more room to maneuver than you do out on the cliffs, and here I'm equipping my poison arrows. I hadn't ever even used poison arrows for anything before, even in my previous Archer practice playthrough. So I figured I'd see how they work against Kirk. I don't know if 15 is I didn't know if 15 was enough or what, but... Alright, we're about to see how this strategy goes. As you can see, poison arrows are highly effective. If you're gonna do a Soul Level 4 Archer playthrough, I definitely recommend grabbing some. You can shoot at these guys from not even very far away without aggroing them. This guy, I guess I was just barely close enough, so I had to fight him the old-fashioned way. And there I'm demonstrating that you can shoot them without aggroing them. It's a very boring way to kill them, but if you don't want to take any skill to do it, then this is the way to do it. Obviously, these enemies are no trouble when you have a bow. That's it for this part. I know it was really boring, but like I said, this was just stuff I had to show. So it's better for me to just put it all in one part. That's it, bye.